Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Well, I think results really talk, so I think any time that there has been that situation, I have this really awful habit of, like, anything you say I accept as a compliment. I'm like, oh, thanks. They're like, you drop something, I'm like, thanks. It's really great. It's so nice of you. And so I don't know if I just don't realize when people are being rude about it, because I definitely hear some snickers and things like that from my teammates where they're like, you're so over top about this pink thing, like, stop it. And I did have someone mention to me the other day on Instagram, they're like, just because you wrestle and want to be a girl doesn't mean you have to wear pink. Pink just happens to be my favorite color. My dad's favorite color is purple. So, I mean, it's just those differences of absolutely not. I'm not trying to fit people into that box. It's all about kind of breaking out of that box. I think I do kind of like over the top do the femininity. I love the long hair. I love being a feminine, beautiful woman in this environment of our culture and our world. But at the same time, I like to do something really intense and competitive. And I think that can still be feminine. I think the grace and the beauty of wrestling can be also strong and powerful, and that can still be a femininity and kind of that feminine dynamic.
What strategies do women employ on the mat that are different than men in terms of
strategy, you said?
Yeah, maneuvers.
So for wrestling, when it starts to get to that difference, I guess, is in high school when the boys start to get a little stronger and girls start to get hips, which helps you none in wrestling. But it's just about, first of all, our flexibility and understanding the leverage of it, and we just have to be a little bit smarter. You know, we're not going to be as fast, we're not going to be as strong, and that's okay. That's okay. You can still go out there. You can still have the opportunity, first of all, to step on the mat. Like an opportunity to get out there and compete is kind of the main thing. And when it comes down to the strategy of actually winning matches, we are a little more limber, but we have to understand that that's also a limiting factor. To some point, you are not strong in those excessively deep positions, and so you have to make sure that you don't let your limberness get ahead of you, but you can use it to your advantage. You can also use the fact that you can set up moves and you can have, it makes you really focus on certain things. If you're strong and you're a boy who just kind of bulldozes through things, it's really easy just to bulldoze through things and not be forced to figure out a way to do it. If you're stuck and you all of a sudden get your wrist locked up and you're like, I can't move here, you have to figure out a way, and it makes you smart. It makes you, challenges you to a point where you have to go out and find a way. And I think that's really helped me as an athlete understand that against the boys I had to deal with strength, I had to deal with speed, and I had to find a way to win anyway. And that's the same thing that I do now, is if a girl has a great takedown, or if they have a great arm drag, or they have a great leg lace, I figure out a way to beat them anyway. And so it's, I think, just a different perspective of how you look at athletics.
Is there anything to center of gravity? Is there anything?
I think that when you're teaching moves, as we get a little bit like more in depth in wrestling coaching, I think you're going to realize that certain moves work a little bit better for women because of their center of gravity is a little different. And so our hips are heavier, and so it's able to make sure we utilize them. But wrestling's all about hips in men's and women's wrestling, and we just have to realize that we don't have the upper body strength to do some of the positions that some of the males do. Same as like the difference between gymnasts, you know, they don't do the rings. We know some of the girls aren't going to do as many upper body attacks, but against the males, I can't do certain upper body attacks because their shoulders are stiff, and I'm not strong enough to combat their shoulder. Andy Bezic and I are the same weight class, and his delts are like triple my size. So to underhook him is very challenging, but I can underhook any female who steps on the mat with me. And so I'm a very, very strong female in my realm, but it's just kind of those differences. Like, I will never be as strong as Andy Bezic, but at the same time, I'm very strong within my dynamic and in my wheelhouse.
Is your boyfriend home, or has he been deployed?
He's home.
What?
Sorry, just about 1 minute.
Okay. Does he have any deployments in the future that he knows of? Or
I really hope not. So my boyfriend's a captain in the U.S. military. He keeps me safe so that I can go and play and beat the world on the mat. So it's really great. No, he's wonderful. I'm hoping he's going to be in Rio with me. He'll be at the Olympic trials with me, and so I'm just really happy to have him by my side.
When you're talking about the takedowns, what's going through your mind when you're trying to process, like, okay, how do I get out of this? Because I feel like a lot of people that don't wrestle, their instinct is to panic. Oh my gosh, somebody has me pinned. How do you kind of process that, or what's going through your head when you're kind of actual work?
I have no idea, but it's really whatever happens, it's great. I have this little switch that goes, and all of a sudden it's like my body takes over, and I know what to do.
So it's almost not overthinking.
Yeah, no, not overthinking it at all. I mean, definitely staying calm. I mean, you have to panic to some point because it means you know what you're doing. But there's always a time to flee, but at the same time, you have to know when to fight.
I'm sorry, I don't know this, but you actually started.
My dad got me into it when I was 6 years old.
And so, thus, was the resistance to you getting into it less than it might have been for others? I mean, it wasn't common then, I think.
Yeah, no, I was well accepted in the wrestling community. Colorado Wrestling's done an amazing job accepting women into the sport, and really just had a lot of success of having my parents shelter me from any negativity that there was, and me having the opportunity to just go in and be accepted on that stage.
Why did it take? Why did it take? What was it that
The wrestling,
captured you?
it chose me. I did not choose it. I was a soccer player. I was like, I wrestle on the side. I do this. It's fun. My dad teaches me some moves. We get father-daughter bonding time. I love that aspect of it. But it wasn't my sport. Like I thought I was a soccer player. And all of a sudden, I won a couple women's tournaments, and people were like, "You need to come this way." And I'm like, "Okay, like this is fine." And then I won something else. They're like, "No, you really need to come this way." And I have to attest that the coaches and the people who believed in me and saw that potential, they were like, "You with me now." And I was like, "Okay." And they went to my parents, and they're like, "There's 1 million girls going for soccer scholarships. There's 100 going for wrestling scholarships." And just to have those number differences and to be able to know that I just graduated from college, debt-free, can't be more thankful than that. I mean, that is not something that many people get to say, and I got to do that through an amazing sport of just doing what I love. And it's just been a great opportunity, and I just can't be more thankful for the option to do that.
Thank you.